Hi, Mudbrooker here. My subject this time is Pascal's wager. Pascal's wager is a theological argument proposed by the French philosopher and mathematician Blaise Pascal. In a nutshell, he states that even though we can't prove God exists, it's wisest to believe as if he does. This way, if you're wrong and God does exist, you can get into heaven. But if you're right and God does not exist, you've lost nothing. On the face of it, this sounds like a good idea, but there are several problems, both with the logic of the argument and with the assumptions on which it's based. A YouTuber called AskEgg has a good video on the subject, and I've provided a link in the description. For the purposes of this discussion, though, I'm going to give Pascal the benefit of the doubt and assume that his little wager actually works. I'm going to go off on a little tangent here and mention that some form or other of Pascal's wager is practically a rite of passage for the budding atheist. Once friends and family find out you no longer believe in your imaginary friend, some well-meaning soul is going to take you aside and say, "What if you're wrong? You could end up going to hell for not believing in God. You'd be a lot safer if you kept living like you still believed, just in case." Well, not really. A man should live what he believes and should be who he is. Pretending otherwise is just self-destructive. Anyway, let's get back on track. Now, assuming Pascal's wager works and heathens like me can sneak into heaven, just what is it I'm getting into? What's a day in life in heaven like? What do you do there? Well, according to no less a theologian than John Calvin, the main form of entertainment in heaven is watching all the poor bastards who didn't get in being tortured in hell. When you're not doing that, the rest of your time is spent praising God. Seriously, snuff movies and kissing God's ass for all eternity. Thanks, but no thanks. Besides, I can't think of a worse torture than being forced to do the same thing over and over and over for all of eternity. The boredom would drive you out of your fucking mind. So, if I ever find myself suddenly worried about an afterlife, instead of Pascal's wager, I think I'm going to opt for Odin's loophole. Here's how it works. You see, in Norse mythology, only heroes killed in battle can get into Valhalla. But there's a way around that. You see, spear wounds are sacred to Odin. If you die with a spear wound, you get a free pass into Valhalla. Mind you, you don't have to die from a spear wound. You just have to die with a spear wound. So all you need to do is arrange for somebody to jab you in the ass with a spear before your kids can pull the plug on you and collect your life insurance money. Now, why would someone pick Valhalla over heaven? Because Valhalla sounds like a blast. Typical day goes like this. You get up in the morning, spend the day fighting, brawling, running combat drills. When supper time comes around, everybody who got killed gets up, and you all go back to the house to eat. It's just like playing cowboys and Indians when you were a kid. After a nice meal, spend the rest of your night drinking, carousing, and fondling tall Norwegian women. That sounds a hell of a lot better than anything Jesus got to offer. Here's the best part, though. Valhalla is not forever. After all, even all that fighting and fucking and feasting, it's going to get old after a while. Not to worry, though, them old Norsemen got it covered. In a final cataclysmic battle called the Age of Ragnarok, all the gods, all the heroes in Valhalla, and all of mankind will be wiped out. Except for one man and one woman. They'll survive by hiding in the great world tree Yggdrasil. So when the shit hits the fan, I'm grabbing the missus and heading for that tree. If we don't make it, well, that's cool. We'll just fade away into oblivion with everybody else. But if we do make it, the next world's going to be populated with big, hairy atheist men and tall, savage, blonde women. Enough of that pleasant little fantasy, though. I got another little provocation for you. I call this flaming bag of dog shit the Afterlife Preview Challenge. Now, I don't believe in an afterlife. A lot of people do, and of course there's no way of telling for sure until you actually die. But there is a way to test drive some of the options for a couple of days first. Here's how. In order to try out the Christian version of heaven, you'll need a few things first. Compile yourself a DVD of the most hideous, stomach-turning scenes of torture and degradation you can find. Pop it in your DVD player and set it on repeat. Okay? Now kneel down in front of your TV and start praying. You're not allowed to pray for anyone or anything. You can only praise Jesus and tell God what a capital fella he is. Since you're still in your flesh body and not in the spirit yet, I'll allow you 5 minutes each hour for bathroom breaks and a half hour each for dinner and supper. After you've done this for 48 hours, ask yourself, is this really how I want to spend eternity? While you're busy doing that, I'm going to spend 2 days getting into bar fights, drinking heavily, and chasing the wife around with lustful intent. Yeah, I know this ain't really much of a challenge, because it's what I'd be doing anyway. This time, though, I'll keep track of what I do, And come Monday, we'll compare notes and see who has had a better weekend. Well, that's it for now. Go give my little dare a good thinking over, and if you do decide to try the challenge, feel free to film yourself and post it as a video response. I look forward to hearing from you.